Hey folks, Gene from Regular Guy Mountain Biking. In this video, I'm going to start going through all the different parts that we'll be using to upgrade this Diamondback Overdrive mountain bike. So here's the deal, my friends. If you didn't watch the first video in this series, I'm going to put a link to it over my head right now. The goal of this video series is to take this bike right here behind me. We're going to take this Diamondback Overdrive, which is a pretty decent entry-level bike, and we're going to upgrade it with all the different cool parts that you might want to put on a bike like this. This way you can see how these parts affect the bike, and then you can decide which upgrades you want to do. To do all these upgrades might be a little bit much to put on this particular bike, but you might want to put a few of them on the bike, and I want to show you what it would take to put them on, and then when we ride the bike, I'll explain to you how they're affecting the bike so you can decide if it's the right upgrade for you. Let's take a look at some of the parts that we're going to use on this bike upgrade. The first thing we're going to take a look at is how we're going to upgrade the drivetrain. Currently, this bike has a multi-ring up in the front. Okay, it's basically got a 3x, and we're going to convert that to a 1x, and we're going to use that with a box upgrade kit. Let me start getting the parts and I'll show you what we're going to put on. So to upgrade the drivetrain, we're going to use the Box 4 8-speed drivetrain kit. All right, so this is what we're going to be using from Box to upgrade the drivetrain, but we're not done there with just that. So hold on one second, I'll be right back. When you upgrade your drivetrain on a mountain bike and go from a multi-ring to a 1x setup, you have to think about what you're going to do with those front rings. One option, and I can show you a video to that, and I'll link it up here someplace, is use your existing cranks and just put a single ring on. I converted that multi-ring setup to a 1-ring setup with some Wolf Tooth products, put a bash guard on, put a single ring, and I used that as the 1x for the front. I'll show you how that works when we actually do that video, or at least show you how you could do it. But what we're really going to end up doing on this bike is going completely full upgrade over here. We're going to be using a Wheels Manufacturing bottom bracket, okay? And then we're also going to be using a Race Face Effect crankset with a Wolf Tooth chainring. So like I said, we're really going to be upgrading this bike. It's already a really nice bike, but with all these upgrades, it's going to be pretty killer. So I'll speak to how you could just upgrade to the 1x setup by using the parts that you have, but the actual upgrade will be using a new bottom bracket, new crankset, and brand new chainring. Now, during the first video that I said there's a link to, which you really should watch, because if you don't watch the first video, it's kind of hard to understand what this video is even about. But during the first video, one of the things I complained about, and there was quite a few, one of the things I complained about was the fact that the handlebars are too short, not wide enough on this bike. Okay, so we'll be putting on some wider handlebars, and we'll certainly be making a change with the brakes. I mean, you got to watch the video. I had a tough spill with a log, and hopefully by using these brakes, I'll be able to now separate the fact that currently this bike has the shifter and the brake all in one mechanism. So I'll be able to use this to take care of the brakes, and clearly I'll be using the box shifter for the shifting area of the bike. Okay, so new brake levers and new handlebars. Now let's take a look at some more parts. The bike doesn't have a dropper seat post, so Pacific Northwest took care of that for me. We'll be using one of their dropper seat posts on this bike. Important thing to note is that this bike does not have internal cable routing, so we're going to be using one of their Coast seat posts that has the external routing, so we'll be able to take care of that, and we'll be using their pretty cool lever over here. Okay, so this is their loam lever. The theme is red, so they hooked us up with red. And of course, what bike is complete without some nice comfortable grips? So we'll be sporting some Pacific Northwest red grips as well. So that's going to pretty much finish up the cockpit. Going to look pretty cool, going to feel pretty cool. Definitely will be a major improvement from the stock. also mentioned in the previous video, is the fact that this bike is not running tubeless. So we're gonna go and do an upgrade of the tires. All right, we've got some tires sent to us from V Tire Company. All right, we're gonna go and switch over the tires, and I'm going to try to make the bike tubeless. I did some research, and honestly, I could not find out if the rims on this bike are tubeless ready until I honestly take them apart and see what's inside, okay? I haven't had to do that yet. So we'll see if they can be converted to tubeless. If they can, then we will. If they can't, then we'll see if we can still make it happen anyway. But either way, there will be some new tires put on this bike. So now let's take care of the pedals on this bike, because this thing came with those little junky plastic things. So a huge upgrade from those will be the Catalyst pedals from Pedaling Innovations. I love these pedals. You guys all know that, it's no big secret. And these are red, which will also enhance the bling factor. So pedals will be upgraded with these bad boys. Last but not least, we're going to upgrade the fork on the bike with a RockShox Recon. That was just something I had to give a shot for the kind of riding I want to try this on. The one that comes on this bike is basically just a pogo stick. It's not really good for any kind of real cross-country riding, and we'll be upgrading it with this guy right here. So that's going to do it, which is quite a bit. That's what we're going to use to upgrade this bike. Remember, like I said in the first video, if you didn't watch, would I recommend you buying all these products to upgrade this bike? No, I wouldn't, okay? To be perfectly honest, this is a great entry-level bike, but to spend this much money, at least all at once, you probably should think about maybe upgrading the bike in general, because you can get a lot of these parts with a new bike. But if you're not in that situation and you want to upgrade little by little, then I will let you know how this affects the bike little by little, okay? I mean, well, we're gonna put everything on the bike and we'll do another ride and I'll tell you how it all worked out. But the fact is, I'm doing this so you don't have to spend all the money up front. I was given some of these parts and I bought some of these parts on my own just to do this video to help you understand how it will help your bike. So I'm really excited to do this. The next video should be around here someplace on the first upgrade. We'll get that going, we'll get the whole thing built out, and then I'm really looking forward to the test ride. So keep the party on the pedals, my friends, and stay tuned for this whole video series. Catch you later, bye-bye.